What's going on, XRP Army? Welcome back to the channel. If you are watching the replay of this stream, go ahead and skip ahead to the 4-minute mark. That's when I'll actually get started. Other than that, I'll be testing audio, getting the stream buffered in, letting people come into the stream, and then we will get started. Happy Christmas Eve to you all. Happy holidays to you all. Anyone watching the replay or coming into the stream live now. I will be taking tomorrow off for Christmas Day. Hopefully we get the God candle everyone's talking about on Christmas Day. We'll see what happens, but I'm not expecting it. As always, if it's the way we'll do things, right, I'll give the 4 minutes for people to come in, people coming into the chat, as well as we get that 4-minute mark, I'll hop into the chart, cover today's price action. We'll cover what happened with the ETFs yesterday versus today, and then we'll cover any news, which there isn't any news. It's Christmas Eve, but I do want to talk about the concept, I want to talk about more about the concept of this channel and what it's actually about. And it's about the long view approach to crypto and how to actually create wealth for your family, how to really build something that's going to last and not these pump and dump schemes that everyone's talking about. So we're going to talk about how to really become a millionaire with crypto in this stream. And for those of you who have been around a while, I see my regulars coming in here, they already know the deal. And we're going to talk about that again, starting at the 4-minute mark. So Raul's in the house already. Pamp Stamper's in the house already. Good morning or good afternoon to you all, depending on where you are in the world. For me, it's 11:59 here, so about to be noon. Still morning technically. But yeah, so no, a lot of people come into crypto with the idea of getting rich quick, and most people lose everything. More people lose than are going to win in trying to do that. So we want to talk about how to actually build generational wealth for your family and for yourself without losing everything. We are here to build for the long haul, not for a pump and dump scheme that's going to happen in 30 seconds, right? Because we're going to lose everything that way. Again, so we'll wait for the 4-minute mark to get people in here. We're at 2 minutes. Hopefully everyone's having a good holiday week and no one has to work today. I assume we'll be a little bit slower today. Most people are spending time with their family, and I don't blame them. I'll be heading out pretty much as soon as I wrap up the stream today. So we got Texas. All right. Pam Stamper from Texas. Okay. I was stationed in Wichita Falls, Texas, a couple hours north of Dallas. And I also went to basic training in San Antonio. So very familiar with Texas. Spent a lot of time down there. Martin in the house. You saw the new bearable guy 123 picture. Don't know what you're talking about. So no, I'm guessing not. I'm guessing not. I didn't see that because I have no clue what you're talking about. But let's see. We're at the 3-minute mark now. So we'll give it 1 more minute for people to come in and then we will get started. Market is now closed. It closed at noon today for Christmas Eve. Raul thinks after New Year's, the price is going to go up. We'll see. Again, we're here for the long view. I do think January is going to be a good month for XRP, and I think 2026 is going to be a good year for XRP as a whole, just based on, what we've seen come online with the ledger, like the growth on the actual ledger of what's happening, like adoption's happening in real time. But, well, I don't live in Dallas right now, Raul. I live in Kansas City now. It's about an 8-hour drive for me, but if I ever make my way down there, I'll definitely hit you up. But I think that we will see an increase in January, and I think 2026 is going to be good for crypto as a whole, as we're pumping in more liquidity from macro element. It's going to be a lot of money flowing into the crypto space over the next 12 months. But we will get started here. Let's see here. Someone said bearable guy 123 is the Riddler guy with clues in his pictures. Google it. I'll take a look. I'll take a look when we get done today. But without further ado, we'll go ahead and get started with the stream because I'm sure the people coming in want to know how to get rich. So I better tell them, right? So welcome XRP Army. If it's your first time here, don't worry. I'm not going to ask you to do anything. The only thing I'll ask you to do is engage in the chat. If it's your second time here, I need you to hit subscribe, smash the like button, and engage in the chat. Chat is the lifeblood of the stream. The way I run my streams is I'm going to hop in. I'm going to cover the price action of what we're looking at today. We cover the price for context. So if you're here to become a millionaire, we're here for the long view. We're not here for what the price is today, tomorrow. I'm not here to try to make anyone a millionaire in a week. All right. We're here for what the price is going to be a year from now, 5 years from now, 10 years from now. This is how you're actually going to grow in this space. More people get wrecked quick than get rich quick in crypto, and that is a fact. Okay, we are here for the long term. I'm not here for $1,000 XRP. So if you click this stream or you click this video looking for that, I'm sorry, I'm not here to give you that. But what I am here to give you is real factual knowledge and how you can succeed in this space. Okay, so without further ado, let's hop into the chart. Boom. Come on now. Don't lag on me. There it goes. So today we're sitting still about 185. We've been talking about consolidating between the 220 and the 175 level. Again, 175 level is our bottom resistance. We have chosen this because we have had multiple purchases at the $1.75 level and the $1.77 level of billions and billions of dollars. Okay, so this has been confirmed not once but twice, and again we tapped the $1.77 level when we fell last time back here on December 18th, and we came all the way back up. So again, we are on the fall again. It looks like we're going to retest this level. If we do not get back down here again, we're still looking for a break past $1.95 into the 220 range. It's going to happen in steps, right? It's not going to happen all at once in a God candle. We're going to be looking for a 10 to 20% spike, and then that should hopefully kick off some FOMO when that finally does happen. Again, we're not here for a God candle. Some of you are, and I would love to be wrong, but that's not why I'm here. That being said, let's look at crypto as a whole today. It's very mixed, but for the most part, it is down because Bitcoin is down. Bitcoin's down 0.1% today. XRP is down 1%. Zcash has still been doing well for this year. We'll see what happens with that, but I'm pretty sure we may have missed the spike on this one. So everything down today, with the exception of a couple few. It's very muted because we talked about this yesterday. A lot of people selling for tax purposes. It's the end of the year. It's very quiet. It's very muted. Not much is going to be happening at the end of the year. Although there are still some narratives going around that there's going to be, a pump on Christmas. We can thank the world's smartest man for that, right? That being said, let's get into what's actually happening with the ETFs. So we had yesterday, we actually track these every single day. For those of you who are coming in, we track the ETFs every single day to see what is being held in supply. Yesterday was yet another day of inflows, and today just closed as a day of inflows. So from November 13th to Christmas, 0 days of outflows. Only XRP has been taken from supply by these ETFs. That being said, let's see what's being held. And I need to stop saying that being said. I caught myself. I went and rewatched a video and I said it like 18 times. So I'm working on that. I apologize. Looks like Franklin Templeton here. I almost said it right there too. Franklin Templeton went from 101 to 105 million. So they gained another 4 million. Grayscale is sitting at 116 million yesterday. And again, their website always jacks up. Didn't do it so bad today. Whoa. Another 5 million from Grayscale. They're up to 121 million now. Canary Capital was at 175 million, and now they're at 176 million. So they added another million. Remember, Bitwise added 10 million yesterday. They went from 112 to 122, and currently Bitwise is now holding 122. So no change, but I'll give them a reprieve since they just added 10 million yesterday. And looks like so 21 shares added 3 million yesterday, went from 132 to 135. And let's see if they did anything today. Nope, no change for them. So again, we still had roughly 6 million XRP get added into these. Again, no outflows. Again, only XRP is being removed. The buying is continuing. Okay, since November 13th, there have been 0 days of outflows in XRP ETFs. No other ETF can say that. Let's see here. On Twitch, I was talking about Young Hoon Kim, who believes that a possible pump is possible on Christmas. Possible pump is possible. Yeah. Predicting that something could potentially happen on Christmas or around Christmas, basically saying the numbers, the math suggests it should happen. Whether it will happen or not, we shall see. I almost said it again. I'm working on it though. If someone can let me know how many times I say it, I appreciate it. I'm trying to correct myself so I don't do it all the time. Bookmarks. I wanted to look at bookmarks because I saved something here for you that I wanted you all to see in regards to our wonderful SEC Chair Paul Atkins talking about the crypto bill. We do need utility. I have said clarity is going to kick off utility. We need to know what it's going to be classified as.
Now, there's a market structure bill that's going through, the Clarity Act that was passed by the House. And so that we'll see where that goes in Congress. And so I'm hoping that they'll be able to get that through. But in the meantime, we in the CFTC will be, and already are, actively working on harmonizing our two systems. Now,
so if you don't think that clarity and regulation and adoption is going to continue and accelerate going into 2026, everything we have is pro crypto. SEC pro crypto, CFTC pro crypto, new Fed chair going in pro crypto, House pro crypto, President pro crypto, Senate pro crypto. Guys, ladies, if there's any of you in here, it's coming. This is going to happen. It's a matter of when. It's not a matter of if. This is going to be ramping up. Right now, we are dealing with overall macroeconomic pressure and cycles that are forcing the price down, tax selling, all of these things, okay? I'm not just talking about XRP. I follow XRP because it has, in my opinion, the greatest chance of return on investment. It's one I believe in the most because it has the most adoption, utility, and backing. But aside from all that, if you are in the utility space with crypto, okay, adoption is happening, regulation is happening, money is pouring in, and they're about to start turning on the printer. Okay, so more money is going to be pouring in. If you do not see crypto expanding in 2026, I can't help you. But I'm not going to say that it's going to expand and make you a millionaire overnight. This is something you need to do your own research. You need to look and find projects that you believe in and dollar cost average in over time. Millionaires are not made in minutes. Millionaires are made in decades. Most people will overestimate what they can do in a year and underestimate what they can do in a decade. You need to stay consistent. You need to have delayed gratification. It takes time. This whole concept of things happening right now is ruining our country. This instant gratification, this no competition, this participation trophy crap. It's ruining our country. Everyone's entitled and no one wants to actually build something. And so, really, if you actually, right now in our country, seriously, if you're willing to work and sacrifice and build something, you're going to outperform people 100 to 1 because no one wants to do anything. I got sidelined and I can't freaking stand it. I can't go to work right now. They won't let me. And like, I'm just looking at how much money could be made because no one wants to do anything. So if you're willing to put in the work and sacrifice and research and create, something with longevity, you have a leg up on 99% of our country. Now, with that being said, I'm off my little rant. Again, I'm here for the long view. If you've stumbled into this channel, I'm not expecting to be many people here, but if you stumbled into this channel, we are here for the long view. I am not trying to sell you a bad bill of goods of $1,000 XRP or a pump and dump or anything like that. If you really want to build something, hit that subscribe button and stay with us for the long haul because we will be here. That being said, I said it, darn it. All right, moving into the chat, I want to talk to all of you. There's no news today, but I did want to share with you that we do have legislation coming. It's expected to be done in January, and I actually think it might happen. Worst case, February, for sure going to be done Q1. But adoption happening, regulation happening, things are turning on. We talked about the account set transactions spiking on the XRP ledger. We've talked about the 4 billion transactions on the XRP ledger. Things are ramping up. Matter of when, not a matter of if. So let me hop into the chat. I want to talk to everyone and wish you all a Merry Christmas and thank you all for taking time out of your day and being here and leaving a chat for me. I appreciate it. Raul's in the house. Pam Stamper's in the house. Pam Stamper's from Texas. We were just talking about that. I guess he's down in Dallas. I've spent some time down there myself. Raul said Merry Christmas. Martin asked if I saw the Bearable Guy 123 picture. I guess it's like a Riddler thing. I'll have to take a look at it when I get out of here. Raul said, I think that XRP is going to go up after New Year's. I agree with you. Once Q1 kicks on, right? Usually the first week or two of the new year is very slow. So usually like the last 2 weeks of December, And the first 2 weeks of January are very, very slow. No one does anything really. Um, but after the new year starts, a lot of buying takes place because now that taxes are set, we're ready to go into a new year. People clear their balance sheet, take losses, take profits, figure out what they're going to have to do with taxes, and then the new year starts and they get back into positions. So there could be a liquidity rotation into risk on assets at the beginning of the year. It's definitely something to look out for. But again, we're here for the long view. These are normal things that are just playing. I'm looking at what it's going to be at the end of 2026 right now, more so than I am looking at what it's going to be at the end of January. January for me was more determined last January because what the price is going to do in January doesn't reflect my overall thesis and model for what XRP is going to be at the end of 2026. I really tried to take a larger scope out, but the mathematical model that we presented says a 20 to 40% price jump is imminent. Whether that happens now or January, I'm not sure, but the math is the math, and the math does not fail. It will come through eventually, and we can see that by what's being purchased by the ETFs. That's why we track it. Real data that we can track. So Raul also said, I think after, or he said, after New Year's will go up. I just answered that one. All right. He wanted me to come see him in Dallas. If I'm ever that way, I will hit you up. Someone said the Bearable Guy 123 is a Riddler guy that hides clues in his pictures. Google it. I'm guessing it's fun. So I'll look into that. We'll see. Thought because you are a big XRP fan also. I've never heard of it. I do follow a lot of XRP and I've never heard of that, but I have my nose more stuck into like news and numbers as opposed to theories and speculation, if that makes any kind of sense. So that stuff doesn't get fed to me because I'm not looking for it. If that makes it, the algorithm shows you what you're looking for. So when I'm looking at content, I'm looking at macro content. I'm looking at Congress, Fed, things like that. Not, that's probably why it hasn't shown up to me. Now, don't get me wrong, I like to have fun too, but typically I don't see those things. Deuces Live said, why is gold and silver and the S&P 500 so high? How is it even possible? Because they're pumping money into the system right now. They're putting billions and billions of dollars into the system every week right now. They haven't started quantitative easing, but they are buying short-term treasury bills and short-term oh gosh, what is it called? I can't remember off the top of my head, but they're injecting money back into the market right now. I can't remember the exact names. My brain's not working for me. So people are investing into AI primarily. And the big thing, so Oracle was a big thing. For those of you who don't follow the overall stock market, let me give you a little breakdown right now. So Oracle is failing bad, and that has a lot to do with TikTok and China. That's why Oracle is failing so bad. What is the US heavily invested in right now? AI. Oracle was tanking, S&P was doing bad. All of a sudden, the TikTok deal with China is done. Hong Kong doesn't say so. China News doesn't say so. But we came out and said so last week, and the S&P 500 recovered before Christmas because AI recovered. And that's it. Oracle recovered based on Trump coming out and saying that TikTok was resolved with China. And Oracle price went up. If you guys go back and look at Oracle's price for the year, I can show it to you real quick. So this is more macroeconomics. So right now, the S&P 500 follows AI, period. AI is propping up the entire S&P 500. That is a fact. So if we look at Oracle, let me see if I can pull it up here. If we look at Oracle over the last, I'll just do a year. We'll look at Oracle over the last year. You can see it had this large run up here and a massive spike. This was in September. Huge run up. That was when they got a deal. Then TikTok got announced and they fell. They plummeted all the way down. You see what I'm saying here? So Oracle, it was all the way down to what? 178, and its all-time high was at 344. So it lost almost half of its valuation in a month. This was dragging down the S&P 500. Why is this happening? Because the AI stocks are pumped full of debt. I don't have the chart in front of me right now, but I was watching Meet Kevin, and if you want to see macroeconomic standings, I highly suggest his content. But I was watching Meet Kevin, and he pulled up the amount of debt that was actually pushed into these AI stocks, and it is just over September, October, and December. It's just getting higher and higher and higher. So when I speak of an AI bubble, these AI valuations are based way up here fully because of debt. So Oracle, the big thing that happened with them was with the whole TikTok, whatever, Blue Owl, the private credit person who was giving them their money and giving them their loans, pulled out. And then they fell and lost half their valuation because it's all debt. This isn't realized value right now. So that's why the S&P 500 is at all-time highs, because people are getting out of the crypto risk on asset and pumping it into this debt-filled AI bubble, unfortunately, and they're getting gains off of it right now. But when that sucker pops, it's going to hurt. Unfortunately, I mean, it's propping up our whole stock market right now. So that's how the S&P 500 is at all-time highs. They're pumping it full of AI debt because they are afraid that if it falls, our entire economy is going to collapse into recession. That's what's happening. My opinion, not financial advice. Gold and silver is going up because they have turned on the printers again. They have stopped quantitative tightening, and they have not started quantitative easing, but again, they started purchasing short-term T-bills, short-term bonds, purchasing back bonds and treasuries, all of these things. So, I mean, money is going in the system, and it's going, when that happens, we have worries of inflation. This inflation that we just got over this year is from when they turned the printers on back in 2020 and 2021. Trump's not going to tell you that, so I mean, really, the inflation that we just got over is from what happened 5 years ago. So they're turning this all on again. People are about to get money, and assets are going to pump. The more liquidity they pump in the system, if they do switch to quantitative easing and keep cutting, the more liquidity they put in the system, the more assets are going to rise. And that is what Trump wants to do. So macroeconomics for you. Money good, inflation bad. More money, more inflation. Period. Let's see here. Hello from the Netherlands, said Jabez. Appreciate you. Martin said he is also from the Netherlands. Appreciate it. I got a nice eclectic group here. We got Netherlands, we got Texas. I had a couple people from Australia before. Jabez said hello. Martin said what's up. And let's see here. They're just talking about Netherlands right now, and they're speaking a language I don't understand. Eminem Roberts in the house. Said Raul told me 13 people were in the stream. Hopefully there's a little bit more, but I expect it to be slower. It's Christmas Eve. You guys should be spending it with your families. Let's see here. Pam Stammer, if you had to guess, what do you think the feed will do basis points wise next month? What do I think the feed will do? Oh, the Fed will do basis points. I think we'll get another quarter because we don't have a new Fed share yet. I think we'll get another quarter based on poor jobs data. We have our jobs data, and our inflation's going down, and it's going to go down. That typically was what follows tariffs. Usually historically, when you have tariffs, you have a one-time spike in inflation, and then you move into a deflationary period, which is typically bad for the economy. So that right now we are moving into that deflationary period. Our inflation has been going down. This is good. But what happens during a deflationary period? Jobs go down. So now they're worried about jobs. So I do expect us to get another cut. And honestly, Japan, Japan's yen is still weakening even after their hike. It had zero impact on what they were hoping would happen. And now they're talking about hiking again. So this next year is going to be very interesting. Japan's expected to hike another 75 basis points next year. And I fully expect us to cut, especially with jobs being as bad as they are. I do expect to cut, but we'll see. Let's see here. Jabez said he stumbled onto my channel. You stumbled onto my channel a while ago, but I appreciate you, Jabez. You show up all the time, man. Yep, LongView, but I hope within 3 years, 100 euro plus. I would absolutely love for that to happen. But, aside from that, it gives us longer to stack, right? I'm honestly not too mad about it because I had to start restacking in 2023. So to me, I look at it as an opportunity and more time to stack. Right now, I can still buy. Again, my opinion, not financial advice. I am not a financial advisor. This is for entertainment and educational purposes only. But the goal is to build a core group here that have the same mindset that we can all lean on and build something moving forward. You don't do anything without like-minded people. It's very difficult to do something alone. I can tell you that from experience. Miss Wendy said Merry Christmas. Pam Stamper is from the Austin area. Okay. I haven't spent a lot of time in Austin. I visit Houston once. I visited San Antonio several times. I love San Antonio. And then Dallas, obviously. And I was up way north by the Oklahoma border. I probably visited a lot in Oklahoma more than I visited Dallas, to be honest with you. Cynthia says, you are spot on regarding want it now mentality. Let's see here. President Reagan said it. We are one generation away from losing our way of life. Millennials, the trophy generation, Gen Z, identify confusion. Yeah, 1,000,000%. No one wants to work for anything anymore. The rest of the world is passing us by. I'm trying, it's so difficult too to teach your children when the examples everywhere are telling you the opposite. You know what I'm saying? Like I get a lot of grief now. I didn't used to because I stayed quiet for a long time. But now I speak out about a lot of the stuff and I get a lot of grief and a lot of people don't like me because I'm more traditional and old school and have morals and values and integrity and these things that are taken advantage of and looked actually down upon these days as weakness. We need to bring that back as strength. And I'm not a Trumper saying any of that, but I do think the pendulum has swung way too far with how easily people are given what they want because they're offended or their feelings are hurt. We're allowed to have differences of opinions. You don't have to like my opinion. You don't have to listen to it either. And I don't have to listen to yours. That's the freedom we have in this country. And people need to, toughen up a little bit. Sorry, it's a fact. Otherwise, you're going to get walked over, ran over, and our country ain't going to be worth a damn thing. All right, that's my rant on politics. I don't get into politics. I get into morals. I want more integrity in our country. Gunpowder said, Mealy, I don't know what you all are saying. Speaking words I don't understand. I'm guessing, Mealy, that's Merry Christmas in Hawaiian, if I remember correctly. I actually just heard that in a song. My my girlfriend's daughter did it at a pageant. They did the Hawaiian Christmas song. Zaida said, thank you, Merry Christmas as well. 3 brothers in the house. Welcome back. Merry Christmas to you. You finally caught a stream. Race Fan caught the last part of the stream. Appreciate you, Race Fan. Raul said there's 22 in here now. Yep, a lot of the regulars start to pop in, say hi. It's kind of turned into a hangout and kind of more of an idea of what the community we are building here is about, just covering the ETFs because there's no news. From MA, Massachusetts, I'm guessing. From Massachusetts, love your content. You tell us how the price appreciation happens with XRP. And can you tell us how the price appreciation happens with XRP and where does the money come from to the levels that some anticipate? So, okay. A lot of people got the astronomical levels because of the math. And they get that because this is a technology, right? XRP is a technology. XRPL is a blockchain technology. It's not a stock. It's not a stock of Ripple. It's not directly tied to that. And what that technology does is it moves value. It's a representation of value. It's supposed to be a liquidity bridge. So how can we accurately predict the value of something that is supposed to carry and hold value? We can't. It's going to depend on what its use case is, what its utility is, and what kind of supply we're dealing with. There's several factors that are going to come to deal with it. So what can we track? We can track that adoption regulation is happening. We can track what's happening on the XRP ledger as far as the increase in transactions, as well as the increase in account set permissions that have been coming online over the last 45 days. We can also physically see what's being held in supply, what's being removed from supply with ETFs, what's being removed from exchanges, what's being held on exchanges. So we can see the rate of drain, if you will, of supply. Based on those factors, we created a mathematical model. literally based on facts, figures, numbers, logic, and the actual chart of XRP. I wonder if it'll come up because I closed it down. Let's see if it'll come up. Yeah, here it is. So this was the mathematical model that we came up with. And based on the chart, based on mathematics and what's physically being held in the ETFs and the rate at which it's entering the ETFs, based purely on math, once we reach a 5 to 10% depletion in the supply, in the available supply, we should see a 20 to 40% typical move based on math. So based on this rate, if there is only 5 billion XRP available at the current drain of 24 million a day, which is actually what we are losing from supply, we have configured that. There's mathematical certainty. So we're losing 24 million a day based on the math. In 4 to 8 weeks, we should see us cross this 700 to 1.3 billion XRP removed. And that should trigger another 20 to 40% increase. So right now we should have an imminent 20 to 40% increase and then another one in 4 to 8 weeks. That's how I am judging the appreciation. Will that happen? I don't know. But it's based on math and based on the chart. It's based on things I can look at. So that is, from my perspective, I'm looking at the end of January to the end of February. We should see a 20 to 80% increase in XRP based on excuse me, I got distracted. But we should see a 20 to 80% increase in XRP between now and the end of February based on the mathematical model if there's truly 5 billion available in supply. If there is more available in supply, then it expands the timeline. So right now we're guessing about 5 billion based on supply, based on the $2.6 billion worth that we saw in available exchanges a week ago, posted by Diana. And that's been confirmed by multiple people. So it just comes down to where the XRP is and how much is available. Let's see here. So hopefully that answers your question. I expect an increase of 20 to 80% by the end of February based on mathematical model that we put together. Pam Stamper says, come on down, bro. It's a good time. Jabez says, you are the real deal. You are an emotional man. You are strong. I mean, I am. I have emotions. I would hope so. I have passion. I have belief. Absolutely. I am. I mean, the thing is being able to differentiate and set aside the emotions once you've made up your mind and created a plan. And if you base it in logic, you need to be able to take the blinders off and see other things too. But yeah, I'm human. I am not AI. I have emotion. Zaida says, I think we are consolidating now. I'm focusing on stacking Q1 of 2026. We will begin to see price movement. I am bullish 100 hash XRP. So I agree. I'm very bullish on XRP, and I am also waiting for an appreciation. The price movement right now doesn't really mean anything to me in the long term, or I mean in the short term. It doesn't mean anything because it's just going to go up and down. It follows Bitcoin right now. When we get clarity and when utility fully gets turned on, because it is being turned on, we're actually seeing it on the XRP ledger. Then we're going to see that what's real and what's BS. And I can't wait. I know the risks of XRP. I am fully aware of the risks of XRP, and I've said it to everyone in here, and I'll say it again. I can live with myself if XRP goes to zero. I can't live with myself with how much I believe in this project. If I sold too early and it did what I thought it could do, I couldn't live with that. So I'll be holding. I ain't going anywhere. Martin asks or says, I'm missing the donation button. You don't have it. I'm also a macro guy. I'm not only ISO 20022. What do you think about band protocol and wormhole direct connection XRP ledger? Absolutely. So I said this in a previous stream, and there's no donation button because I am not monetized. I'm not here to get money. I'm saying this because I want to build a community. Could I monetize right now? Yes, I could. I actually unlocked that today. It'll be 3 months ago tomorrow that I started this channel or restarted this channel. And we unlocked monetization today if I wanted to. But again, I'm not here for your all's money. I'm here to build something. Later on, I'll turn on monetization. Once I get in a situation to where things work for me, but right now they don't. So I am here just giving you free advice, and hopefully you guys enjoy it and we build something here. Um, so wormhole though, 1,000,000%. I spoke on a previous stream, on a couple previous streams, that this year, 2025, was the year of adoption and was the year of acquisitions for Ripple, right? So much stuff came on as far as adoption and CFTC and SEC and DTCC getting tokenization. Everything we wanted to see come to fruition has started. We got the green lights, bank charter, right? We got all the green lights. Everything we wanted to see has started to come to fruition. So this year is going to be the year of interoperability. The winners are going to need to be able to work together. Interoperability is going to be key. We're already starting to see it with our current partnership, right, with Solana through Hex Trust. We've got the WXRP that's going to be on Solana, Ethereum, Hyperchain, and Optimism. So we already got 4 other chains announced. What I'm really looking forward to is when they start coming up with other stable coins, not USD. I'm talking like RL Yen, RL Euro. When we start getting other stable coins coming online, that's when we're going to be able to start getting into FX transactions, cross-border payments, where we need a bridge currency. So I am looking out for RL Yen. I am looking out for an RL Euro. I'm looking out for an RL Pound, or whatever country they are locked into, Africa, Brazil, Japan, because they are everywhere, right? They started expanding outside of the US during the SEC lawsuit. So they actually have, for being a US based company, they actually have a larger footprint globally than they do in the US. Keep that in mind. So it's not just US we're waiting for. We're waiting for these other countries to come on board too. And I think we're going to see this expand over the course of the year as well. So there's many things to look forward to. And I'm really looking forward to seeing what's going to happen with RLUSD and other stablecoins, because we will need other stablecoins and other currencies for them to have like an FX, right? A cross border or an FX remittances exchange, a blockchain. Think of a blockchain exchange for cross border payments. That's what they're building. This stuff is happening. I'm here for it. I can't wait. So yes, wormhole protocol, band protocol, interoperability is going to be key. Let's see here. Jabez says, I like uprightness. I like uprightness too. I'd rather be upright than dead. That's for sure. Zeta said, absolutely 100. Three Brothers said, really appreciate you, my man. All right. And Jabez says what he says. Well, I appreciate you guys all as well. We've made it through the entire chat. I hope you all have a happy holiday and a Merry Christmas. Hit the like button, share it far and wide if you want to grow the community. Again, I'm not here for your money, but we did unlock it today if we choose to turn it on later. So there is no donate button, but I appreciate the thought. You can make it up to me. Make it up to me next time when I do have it. We'll see what happens moving forward. For those of you who don't know me, who may have come in late, I am on short-term disability. Actually, I'm not working right now. And if I start generating an income, that makes the waters very, very muddy. Even though if I were to turn it on, it'd only, be making a few dollars here and there. It's not worth it to jeopardize the security I have for my family right now until it can replace it, if that makes any kind of sense. So hopefully that makes sense to you all. I'm just trying to take care of my family, but I am going to continue to grow this community. I'm not going anywhere. I'm also here on YouTube for the next 1 year, 5 years, 10 years, for the long haul and the long view. I'm not building something to go away. But I appreciate every single one of you. Thank you, Jabez. I see you in there. If you guys could like the video, subscribe if you're not. I'll see you guys after Christmas. I'll be here hopefully on the 26th. If not, the 27th. I might make a quick pop by on the 26th and say hi, see if there's any news. I'll keep an eye out for any news to put in shorts. But other than that, I'll see you guys after Christmas, and I hope you all enjoy your family. All right? Later.